Bienvenidos a Farm Talk Friday. It is April 3rd, 2026. I'm Ken Jordan. This is my beautiful wife, Giovanna.
Hi, Manzana.
You look amazing today, as always.
Oh, thank you.
All right, we're here in Costa Rica on our little tiny permaculture farm. We've got chicken tractors in the background, both of them actually. Little one right there, bigger one right there.
Yeah. Big one, little one.
Yeah. We moved to Costa Rica a little over 10 years ago from Los Angeles. I used to be in a band called the Crystal Method. And my wife has an amazing nonprofit called Greenwave. Check them out at greenwave.eco. And she's a tantric yoga teacher. So we are going to jump right into farm talk. Right here.
Okay, show and tell. Show and tell.
We've got show and tell. And one of the most glorious times of the year is mango season. Mangoes are coming in. These are still a little hard, but this will be ready in a day or two. I love mangoes so much. They're just so delicious. I never get tired of them until the end of mango season. So it's perfect.
Yeah.
And then I move on to some other thing that I say is my favorite fruit.
Yeah, before it was quemitos.
Yeah, so they're all my favorites and they're all the best. And then I get tired of them and I move on to the next best.
Yeah, so I guess it's a good thing that they're not always fruiting at the same time.
Okay, now we've got a huge disparity here.
Okay, so this one's a little shriveled up.
What we're doing here is we're showing water apples, Manzanas de Agua.
So these are two different varieties, and we talk about this a lot. Like when this one's going, this one's not usually going. And right now, the reason why this one's shriveled up is it's been in our fridge too long.
Yeah.
But good thing that it was there so that we could show you the difference. So this tree has ended fruiting.
And this is a smaller one.
Yeah, this one's smaller. This is about half the size of how big they can get.
Yeah.
And then this is about the size of these little rose bells, but they're both considered water apples, and these ones have like a rose taste to them.
Yeah.
It's like very light, very pretty.
Both delicious.
I like both. This one has a big seed in it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Hopefully this doesn't squirt all over the place.
I don't think it'll squirt.
Okay. So this has a giant seed, so it's
it
easy to plant these. We haven't quite figured out how these reproduce and where the seeds are, if it has seeds.
Right.
So
if we wanted to propagate these, we might have to do like grafting or something.
So I've seen
might
things
be a
before.
Seed right there. That could be a seed.
Yeah, we've seen those before, and I've tried to plant that, and it's not taken. But that doesn't mean it's not a seed. I'm just saying that it's totally different than its water apple cousin over here, which does this. There we go.
Yeah.
Two different kinds of water apples.
It's a
Should let this one go to waste.
No, it's a super bright, sunny day out there. You look at the beautiful blue skies, but you might notice just some normal clouds up there. But we have got some rain. We got 0.15 inches of rain a couple of days ago. It was super exciting. It's
1.5.
Yeah, 0.15 inches. And
but at least it read.
We know it's the exact number because we have a little weather station now. And I was so worried that that the rain gauge wasn't working because we got a couple of super light sprinkles. And I thought, well, that has to be 1/100th of an inch, but apparently it wasn't. So, I mean, it was very light, just super light sprinkles for a minute or two. And
do you want to explain why we got the rain machine?
Yes, because we were recruited into the local rain watchers. So there's a group in this area. It's a funny thing.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, rain. That's what the group's called.
Rain watchers.
Okay, if you're in the U.S. and you look up the weather on your phone or whatever, right? There's weather stations all over the place. So there's a weather station close to you that's part of your state or national weather service. Here in Costa Rica, where we live on the southern tip of the Nicoya Peninsula, the closest weather station is really far away. It's like an hour drive and an hour ferry away. So there's not actually accurate weather forecasting or accurate weather recording here. So
it's in Punta Arenas or it's in Paquera?
Punta Arenas. Yeah.
That's more than an hour drive.
Yeah, well,
it's an hour drive and then across
that's what
the
I said.
ocean.
Hour drive and an hour ferry. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah.
It's far away. So some of the local community, Greg, has started the Rain Watchers group, and we all just collect the rain and tell each other how much we got, and we have a pretty accurate idea of how much rainfall we get each year. So super excited about that.
But it's also interesting because even though we're in a small area, that we have all these little microclimates, and so everyone gets different readings.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what are they using? Because they thought that it was cool that you got some like high tech thing.
Yeah, I really wanted the high tech thing that transmits to a little receiver we have in our kitchen. I'll take a picture of it and post it at some point. And it's really cool, and it does forecasts, and it reads temperature inside and outside and barometric
And you have
pressure.
like an app for it, so it shows up on your phone.
There's an app for it too, and I can post a link to where people can subscribe to our weather station. And
do you guys want to subscribe to our weather station? You can.
See our
Let
weather.
us know.
So I'm gonna do that too. Sounds like fun.
But what are they using? What's the low tech?
Just a tube with marks like measurements. They make little ray collectors. I don't know how wide they are, but they have to be level. They have to be in a good spot, and then you just look and see how much you got over a period.
Okay.
But then you have to. So then you write it down. Then you have to dump it out and wait for the next rain.
Okay.
But it's all good. Any way you measure it.
Ken's is much more sophisticated than that.
Yeah, but it's scary.
Although he didn't know,
Yeah.
because he had put it on top of our new solar, agri-solar, what's our thing called? Agri-voltage.
No, it's
What's it called though?
agrovoltaic
System. And like the way that it was mounted, he was worried that it wasn't totally level and that
But
it wasn't
it's
working.
not on the solar panel.
But it's on that system.
It's on the roof. It's on like our.
I thought you mounted it to one of the agrovoltaic
No.
posts.
No. It's on
okay.
our. It's on like the handrail, the last step up to the roof.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway.
But it was like days of Ken being troubled of like where he was gonna put it, if it would work.
Yeah.
Is it working?
Right.
We haven't had a reading. I mean, this time of year we barely get rain at all. The ground is very dry, very brown,
Very dusty.
very dusty.
Breathing a lot of dust.
Yeah. But people had been saying, people that have been here for a long time, oh, but during Semana Santa we always get a rain. And it seems like they might be right.
Yeah. Hey, I would like you to talk about this.
Okay, so Ken's holding up a brand, but it's we did buy this brand, and then we used it, and I thought it was a nice container, so I kept it because I like doing that. I'm a little hoardy sometimes, not like the worst kind of hoardy, but I keep things because I think I'll reuse them. Maybe for years at a time, and then sometimes Ken gives me 24 hours to...
I don't think you're a hoarder. I just think you have a lot of wishful thinking.
I do have a lot of wishful thinking, apparently. Okay, so anyways, but I used this, and it was not like just sitting around for years.
You used the empty container.
The container, and this is our own toothpaste. So this is actually kind of what the toothpaste, this was a toothpaste, and then I made our own version because I was looking at it, like, I think I can make that.
Uh-huh.
And when we were in Mexico for Art Week, we were hanging out with some new friends, and one of the friends, Tijan, she she had made a toothpaste and told me how she did it. So she had, she kind of told me how she did it. She gave me the recipe. So what I did was we went and got some cloves. I didn't grind them up. I think she grinds hers up. I just extracted them in oil for like a couple of weeks. And then it's like baking soda, maybe a few drops of essential oil, like a mint essential oil that's food grade. And that's kind of it. So there's no fluoride or anything in this.
And so the salty texture
and
flavor?
No, I put some salt in it.
Okay.
I put some Himalayan sea salt.
Cool.
No, not sea salt. Although there's been ammonites or whatever those things are called found at the top of the mountain of the Himalayas, and so it was, like
it's funny. It's
at one point underwater.
It's a funny mistake that a lot of people make that I used to make, saying Himalayan sea salt, and of course the Himalayas are not.
It's like Mount Everest.
They're not
and such.
They're not in the sea.
Not anymore.
Right. But so that's Himalayan salt.
But do you think the salt got there
from the
deposits of the ocean previously?
I don't know. A lot of those.
Where's our scientists?
A lot of mountains just have
salt.
Salt veins going through. But everything was.
But everything was underwater.
Everything was underwater at some point. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, and then Ken is liking this.
I really like this homemade toothpaste. It's awesome.
Yay. So after many years, I have made toothpaste. Moni! Yay! Okay, so we've talked about our water apples and our mango mangas.
We would be remiss if we did not wish a happy birthday to Pete. It's tomorrow, and it's
our time,
and it's already tomorrow in New Zealand,
where he's at. Yeah.
So happy birthday,
Captain Pete, and also almost happy birthday to my little sister Christine.
Chrissy, happy birthday!
Yay!
What else we got here?
Well, so when we skipped that week, because Ken had his triathlon, I really wanted to give a shout out to Varuna. They're a restaurant in the Manuel Antonio area.
Oh yeah.
Vegan food. They're not raw, right?
No.
Because they've cooked lots of cooked items, but it's just such good desserts.
And they've like elevated their game.
So
they moved to a super new, cool location with a
beautiful view. Yeah, so Varuna
in Manuel Antonio,
you're in our hearts. Yeah, it was so good. I was like, we gotta give them a shout out. And then I went and got sugared, which is it's like a waxing thing. And Ken's laughing because maybe he thinks it's too intimate to talk about that, so I won't say where I got sugared. But it's a type of waxing procedure, and she was amazing. And if you are in Costa Rica and you're in our area, I would pilgrimage to her. So if you want,
tell her name, right?
I can't remember right now.
Charlotte.
Oh, there we go. But that's not the name of her business. She had a mermaid as like part of her logo, which was like perfect.
Right.
But she was very cool, and I liked the process, and I would definitely want to make road trips to go visit her just so I could get sugared again. So there was that. And then usually we start out the show talking about the ad, but we wanted to leave something for kind of the end of the show, which we are wrapping up. And so part of the ad was, let me see if I can try and explain it without giving up the part that Ken wants to talk about. Okay, so when people pass, it has been my experience that I see signs, of them in some way. And so part of the image was this really beautiful flower, like an ixora tree. It's like a white, it comes in different colors. Typically, what we see in landscaping is kind of like this orangey red. They call it red. I call it orange. But sure, maybe it's a reddish orange. And then there's light pink and dark pink, and then a couple different kinds of the oranges, like what I would consider a true orange, like a sherbet and a darker orange, and then they do have like a true red also. But anyway, so I noticed this this white plant like maybe last year, and it had just started growing on its own, so it's wild, and it's like a white ixora, but it's a tree instead of more like a bush, and the fragrance on it is amazing. So after my grandmother passed, this tree bloomed, and it just had all these beautiful. They kind of grow in like bunches, like it's like a fistful. They're clumped together. It's in the picture. It's on the bottom, and so I just felt like that was my grandmother saying, hey, I'm here. And now, like every time the tree blooms, I get to think of her, which is cool. And she passed on, I think it was International Women's Day. Mm-hmm. And so anyway, so I get to, think about her on those extra special occasions when this tree is blooming and on that day now. And so I will let Ken talk, and then I'll explain maybe the other part of the picture.
Okay, well,
it's quite a story.
The dance music world lost one of our greats this past week. DJ Dan passed. DJ Dan was like a hero to me because at all musical events, I complain about the music.
Yeah, it's true.
I complain about the DJs. And there's only been like one guy who could like really get me dancing 100% of the time, and that was DJ Dan. So much so that my wife Giovanna really tried hard to get him to come to Costa Rica for my 60th birthday to play a set. We didn't get him there, but we were lucky enough to see him this past year at the end of June. We saw him in New Orleans. And so a couple of our friends got to meet him, so that was really nice to see Dan. And I also got to work with him once. It was probably like 2014 maybe. We were working on some project it was like a secret project for EDC, and that was also a lot of fun. So we lost DJ Dan. And, it was a little too soon, but hopefully he's at peace now.
Yeah. Well, yeah, however we want to say that. So anyway, so the rest of the ad that I saw. So the day that we found out from Monica, who's on right now, she let us know. Thank you, Moni. I saw like a cicada, mm-hmm. which usually like when I see cicadas, they're around buildings and they're trying to like get into a space. We hear them all the time. They're like the soundtrack of the jungle, but you don't really see them. And there was like this cicada that was like following me, and I love cicadas. It has made me nervous in the past because like their wings are loud or something. It's very clanky, and they're kind of big, and but I do love them, and they have the cutest faces. They have like in the fish world, there's like pufferfish. I find pufferfish to be extremely cute, and cicadas, pufferfish, dolphins. They all have this like really cute face to me. And so, anyways, I was like, oh hey cicada, like I never see you just in our jungle, and you're following me. I'm like, that's so interesting. And then Moni gave me the news later that day, and so I was like, oh, like I feel like maybe that was Dan, or one of his jungle cohorts. He didn't make it to Costa Rica, so maybe he employed the cicada to try and tell me the message first. But anyway, it's been like all week, so much love for DJ Dan and DJ Reza. Reza was. Has been receiving a lot of love also, but, and there's been others, but there's just been this, like, every time I open up Facebook, it's all Dan. And so, it's like I went I did my part in reaching out to some people, just making sure that they knew also, kind of early on, many days ago now. And one of those people, Robert Cakeley, DJK, he was saying, yeah, you know, Dan really loved to cook, and you know what he would love is if you planted like a lemon tree, one that's not too sweet and not too tart, just like Dan. And I was like, yeah, I could do that. We actually have a lot of citrus here, so I don't know if we need to plant another lemon or lime tree. But
we could name one after him.
Well, we could name one, but I was actually thinking I have starfruit in the vivero, and starfruit to me would be perfect. Like Dan was a star. Starfruit can be sweet, but they're often, you know, more on the tart side, but they have that that balance. And so I definitely want to plant one of those on behalf of him. But anyway, so I'm, you know, thinking about all these things. I'm sitting down. I have, you know, been out trimming things, and I'm sitting in the fairy garden taking a rest and just like looking up. I'm still like thinking about Dan, and I see these little pink poofs of, you know, like in the fairy garden of one of the trees. I'm like, oh, that's pretty. And then my eyes just kind of like move down, and I see this little bush tree, and it's just popping with fruit, like these little red fruits. And so that's what the ad is like this this little tree bush that had the red fruits on it. And I was like, oh my gosh, you are going off right now. Look at you. And it's the miracle fruit tree.
All right.
And so, Dan, that is also your tree. And what's fun about the miracle fruit
several trees.
Yeah, several trees. Dan gets lots of trees here. But the miracle fruit, like if you eat it, it will change the flavor of things that you eat after it. So it might make things more sweet.
No, it's the only thing it does. It makes them more sweet.
Oh, okay. Well, one time, a long time ago, somebody told us that it would make sweet things sour.
Only makes them sweet.
Okay. So anyways, it definitely does that.
All right.
So, but yeah, I wanted to also give like a little shout out to Eve Baldwin. One of our friends is mourning her pretty heavy. We were not able to go to that. We were not able to go to Reza's beautiful, you know, celebration of life, because obviously we're not in LA anymore. And then Michelle Rocha, I found out that she had passed. Her sister sent something on Instagram, and it was very shocking. I didn't really know her super well, but over the last 10 years I had, you know, we had corresponded, you know, trying to do our part in changing the world, and it was sad for me to see someone that is, you know, probably much younger than me, you know, not be here. And so love to all of these beautiful people that have shaped our scene, and let's keep dancing for them.
All right.
In raver heaven, as Moni says.
Okay. See you next week
Yay,
on
happy
Farm
Friday.
Talk Friday.